Discipline is the silent force behind every great achievement. While talent and intelligence may open doors, it is discipline that ensures success in the long run. Every successful person, whether an athlete, entrepreneur, artist, or scholar, relies on discipline to stay committed, overcome obstacles, and push forward even when motivation fades. Many people view discipline as a form of restriction, believing it takes away spontaneity and enjoyment. However, true discipline is not about limitation. It is about control. It is the ability to delay gratification, prioritize what truly matters, and stay consistent despite challenges. Without discipline, dreams remain just that. Dreams. Those who embrace discipline transform their lives, achieving not just external success, but also inner strength, self-respect, and mastery over their actions. Discipline is what turns ambition into reality, ideas into execution, and potential into greatness. It is the foundation of self-improvement, leading to freedom, the freedom to shape one's future, to achieve goals, and to live with purpose. In this video, we will explore the science, philosophy, and real-life application of discipline, uncovering why it is the key to success and how anyone can develop it to unlock their full potential. Discipline is deeply rooted in the brain's psychology and neurological functions, influencing everything from decision-making to habit formation. At the core of discipline is self-control, which is governed by the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for rational thinking, impulse control, and goal setting. When a person exercises discipline, they strengthen this region, making it easier to resist distractions and stay committed to long-term objectives. One of the key factors in this process is dopamine, a neurotransmitter often associated with pleasure and reward. While dopamine is typically linked to instant gratification, such as indulging in junk food or binge-watching entertainment, it can also be trained to reinforce discipline. When individuals consistently practice disciplined behaviors, their brain starts associating effort and delayed gratification with reward, making self-control feel more natural over time. This is why people who build a habit of waking up early, exercising, or working on their goals eventually find these activities less difficult. They have rewired their brain to find satisfaction in consistency, rather than impulsive pleasure. Scientific studies have shown that willpower functions like a muscle. It can be strengthened with use, but also depleted if overexerted. In the famous marshmallow experiment conducted by psychologist Walter Mischel, children who demonstrated greater self-control by delaying gratification were found to have better life outcomes in areas such as academic success, career growth, and personal relationships. This study, along with others on self-discipline, highlights the long-term benefits of training the mind to resist short-term temptations for greater rewards. However, just like physical muscles, willpower can fatigue if forced to make too many disciplined decisions in a short period. This phenomenon, known as decision fatigue, explains why many people struggle with self-control after a long day of making choices. The solution lies in automating discipline by building strong habits. When actions become habitual, they require less mental energy to maintain, making it easier to stay consistent. This is why successful people focus on routine. They minimize unnecessary decisions so that discipline becomes second nature. One of the biggest misconceptions about self-discipline is the belief that motivation is enough to achieve success. In reality, motivation is unreliable because it fluctuates based on emotions, external circumstances, and fleeting bursts of inspiration. Many people start new habits with excitement, whether it's a fitness routine, a business venture, or a creative project, but lose motivation as soon as challenges arise. This is where discipline becomes crucial. It is what carries individuals forward when motivation fades. Unlike motivation, which is driven by feelings, discipline is driven by commitment. A disciplined person does not wait until they feel inspired to take action. They act regardless of how they feel. This mindset shift is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. By understanding that discipline is a skill rather than a temporary mood, individuals can take control of their progress and avoid the cycle of starting and quitting based on fluctuating motivation. Over time, practicing discipline rewires the brain for long-term success. Neuroscientific research suggests that consistent self-discipline strengthens neural pathways associated with focus, self-regulation, and goal pursuit. The more a person resists distractions and follows through with disciplined actions, the more these behaviors become ingrained in their brain. This is why seasoned athletes, entrepreneurs, and high achievers often seem to operate on autopilot when it comes to maintaining their routines. They have built a mental framework that prioritizes discipline over momentary comfort. Additionally, the brain adapts to disciplined behaviors by increasing mental resilience. When people consistently push through discomfort and embrace challenges, their stress tolerance improves, making it easier to handle adversity. This explains why individuals who train themselves in disciplined habits develop a higher level of mental toughness and perseverance compared to those who rely solely on motivation. Ultimately, discipline is not just a personal trait. It is a science-backed skill that shapes the brain, strengthens willpower, and determines long-term success. By understanding how discipline functions neurologically and psychologically, individuals can take deliberate steps to cultivate it in their lives. Rather than depending on fleeting motivation, they can train their brain to embrace consistency, rewire their reward system for delayed gratification, and build habits that make discipline effortless. When self-control becomes a habit rather than a struggle, success becomes inevitable. Throughout history, discipline has been a defining trait of the greatest leaders, philosophers, warriors, and thinkers. Ancient wisdom from Stoicism, Buddhism, and military traditions all emphasize the power of discipline in achieving mastery, self-control, and enlightenment. The Stoics, particularly Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, viewed discipline as essential for a virtuous and fulfilling life. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, practiced relentless self-discipline, writing in his meditations about the importance of doing what is right, regardless of personal comfort or external obstacles. For the Stoics, discipline was not about rigid control, but about mastering emotions, maintaining focus, and living according to reason, rather than impulse. Similarly, Buddhism teaches discipline through mindfulness and self-restraint, encouraging individuals to detach from fleeting desires and focus on the path to enlightenment. Buddhist monks live by strict discipline, waking up early, meditating for hours, and following a life of simplicity, proving that true freedom comes from self-control rather than indulgence. Military traditions throughout history also reinforce the idea that discipline is the foundation of strength and success. From the Spartans of ancient Greece to the disciplined strategies of Sun Tzu's Art of War, military leaders have emphasized that discipline is what separates the victorious from the defeated. The impact of disciplined individuals on history is undeniable. Marcus Aurelius led the Roman Empire through some of its most challenging times, maintaining stability despite plagues, wars, and political turmoil, all through his unwavering commitment to discipline and rational leadership. Centuries later, Bruce Lee, a martial artist and philosopher, embodied discipline through his rigorous training and mental focus, pushing his body and mind beyond ordinary limits. He famously stated, "I do not fear the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times," illustrating the power of disciplined repetition in achieving mastery. Another modern example is Jocko Willink, a former Navy SEAL commander who emphasizes discipline as the key to personal and professional success. His philosophy, captured in his book Discipline Equals Freedom, teaches that true strength and freedom come from structure, self-imposed rules. Discipline is the common thread that ties together successful people across all fields, from business to sports to the arts. Entrepreneurs like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos have built world-changing companies, not through momentary inspiration, but through years of relentless effort, structured habits, and the ability to push forward despite setbacks. The same is true in sports. Athletes like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant trained harder than their competitors, not because they always felt motivated, but because they had developed the discipline to show up every single day. Even in the creative world, artists, writers, and musicians who have achieved greatness did so through disciplined practice. Leonardo da Vinci, one of history's greatest polymaths, meticulously studied anatomy, engineering, and painting for years, driven not by fleeting passion, but by an unshakable commitment to mastery. Beethoven, despite losing his hearing, continued to compose some of the most powerful symphonies in history, demonstrating that discipline allows individuals to overcome even the most daunting obstacles. What unites all these figures is not just talent or intelligence, but the ability to stay disciplined when others give up. Success in any field does not come from brief moments of inspiration, but from years of deliberate effort, structured habits, and the resilience to keep going despite failure. Those who master discipline do not rely on external circumstances to dictate their actions. They take control of their destiny, shaping their future through consistency and commitment. While motivation may come and go, discipline remains the steady force that ensures progress. By looking at history's most accomplished individuals, it becomes clear that discipline is not just a tool for success, it is the foundation upon which greatness is built. Whether in philosophy, warfare, business, or the arts, the lesson remains the same. Those who cultivate discipline unlock their full potential, while those who neglect it remain trapped by their own limitations. Discipline is the bridge between setting goals and achieving them. Many people dream of success, whether in business, fitness, personal growth, or creative endeavors, but only a small percentage ever reach their full potential. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is discipline. The ability to break down ambitious goals into consistent, manageable daily actions. A goal by itself is nothing more than a wish. It becomes a reality only when paired with the discipline to execute small but consistent efforts over time. When people focus solely on the end result without committing to the daily work required, they become overwhelmed and give up before making real progress. However, those who develop discipline understand that success is not about one grand action, but a series of small, deliberate steps. Writing a book is not about suddenly producing 300 pages in a day. It's about writing consistently, even when inspiration is absent. Becoming fit is not about working out intensely for a week and quitting, but showing up every day, regardless of motivation. Mastering a skill is not about practicing once in a while, but dedicating time to improvement every single day. Discipline turns goals from overwhelming ideas into practical, achievable realities. The power of consistency, which is at the core of discipline, cannot be overstated. Success is often the result of tiny, repeated actions that compound over time. This principle is evident in the world of personal finance, where disciplined saving and investing yield significant wealth over decades. It applies to physical fitness, where small daily workouts, healthy eating, and proper rest lead to transformation. It is also the secret behind intellectual and creative mastery. Those who study a little every day, practice their craft consistently, and show up regardless of their mood eventually outperform those who rely solely on talent or motivation. James Clear, in his book Atomic Habits, emphasizes that small, incremental improvements may seem insignificant in the moment, but they build up into remarkable results over time. A person who improves by just 1% each day will be nearly 37 times better after a year, proving that discipline and consistency are far more powerful than occasional bursts of effort. Those who commit to the process and trust in the power of small, disciplined actions ultimately achieve results that seem extraordinary to outsiders, but are simply the natural consequence of sustained effort. The biggest difference between success and failure is not intelligence, luck, or talent. It is the ability to execute rather than merely dream. Many people have great ideas, ambitions, and desires, but without discipline, these remain nothing more than wishful thinking. The world is full of people who want to start businesses, write books, learn new skills, or get in shape, yet few ever follow through. This is because execution requires consistency, perseverance, and the ability to work even when the initial excitement fades. Discipline forces people to take action when they do not feel like it, when circumstances are not ideal, and when progress feels slow. It eliminates the habit of procrastination and replaces it with a mindset of commitment. Instead of waiting for motivation to strike, disciplined individuals create routines that make progress automatic. They do not negotiate with themselves about whether they should work toward their goal. They simply do it. This difference in mindset is what separates those who achieve their dreams from those who remain stuck in endless cycles of starting and quitting. Real-life examples of people who have transformed their lives through discipline prove just how powerful this trait is. One of the most famous examples is David Goggins, a former Navy SEAL and ultra-marathon runner, who overcame extreme hardships through sheer discipline. He was once overweight, unmotivated, and struggling, but by embracing a disciplined mindset, he transformed himself into one of the toughest endurance athletes in the world. His story demonstrates that discipline allows people to push beyond perceived limitations and achieve things they never thought possible. Another example is Elon Musk, whose disciplined work ethic has led to the creation of multiple billion-dollar companies, including Tesla and SpaceX. While many admire his genius, it is his relentless discipline, working long hours, staying committed to problem solving, and persisting through setbacks that has allowed him to turn ambitious visions into. The lesson is clear. Discipline is the single most important factor in turning dreams into reality. It breaks down overwhelming goals into manageable daily actions, harnesses the power of consistency, and ensures execution rather than mere wishful thinking. Those who rely on motivation alone will always struggle with inconsistency, while those who develop discipline will continue making progress, regardless of external circumstances. History has shown that success is not about luck, but about doing the work, day in and day out, until results appear. By committing to disciplined action, anyone can achieve their goals and transform their life in ways they never thought possible. Building and strengthening discipline requires a deliberate approach, combining practical strategies, environmental design, and a mindset shift that makes discipline a lifestyle rather than a temporary effort. One of the most effective ways to develop discipline is through habit formation. Habits automate behavior, reducing the need for constant willpower and decision-making. James Clear in Atomic Habits explains that habits follow a loop: cue, routine, and reward. By setting up specific triggers, cues, repeating actions consistently, routine, and associating them with positive reinforcement, reward, individuals can turn disciplined behaviors into second nature. For example, if someone wants to develop a reading habit, they can place a book on their pillow, cue, read for 10 minutes before bed, routine, and track their progress to see improvement over time, reward. Another crucial strategy is delayed gratification, the ability to resist immediate pleasure for long-term rewards. The famous Stanford marshmallow experiment demonstrated that children who resisted eating a marshmallow immediately in exchange for a bigger reward later were more successful in life. Practicing small acts of self-control, such as waiting before indulging in entertainment, can train the brain to prioritize long-term gains over short-term satisfaction. Additionally, mental toughness plays a crucial role in discipline. Developing a strong mindset means embracing discomfort, pushing through fatigue, and persisting even when motivation fades. The ability to endure temporary hardship separates those who achieve their goals from those who quit at the first sign of difficulty. Another key factor in building discipline is designing an environment that supports self-control. People often assume discipline is purely an internal struggle, but external surroundings significantly influence behavior. If distractions and temptations are always within reach, self-control becomes a constant battle. Therefore, setting up an environment that reduces friction for good habits and increases friction for bad ones is essential. For instance, someone trying to eat healthier should remove junk food from their home and keep nutritious options easily accessible. A person looking to reduce screen time can set their phone to grayscale, remove distracting apps, or keep the device in another room while working. Even simple adjustments, like organizing a workspace for focus or keeping workout clothes visible, can make disciplined behavior feel effortless. The people we surround ourselves with also play a role in reinforcing or undermining discipline. Being around highly disciplined individuals creates an atmosphere of accountability and inspiration, while spending time with those who lack self-control can lead to negative habits. By curating both physical and social environments to align with goals, individuals can make discipline an automatic part of their lives rather than a constant struggle. One of the biggest challenges in strengthening discipline is overcoming the modern world's endless distractions and instant gratification. Social media, streaming services, and on-demand entertainment have conditioned people to seek immediate pleasure, making it harder to stay focused on long-term goals. To combat this, individuals must set clear boundaries and intentionally limit exposure to distractions. Time blocking, where specific hours are allocated for deep work without interruptions, can be highly effective. Another technique is the dopamine detox, where a person temporarily abstains from highly stimulating activities such as social media, junk food, or video games to reset their brain's reward system and regain control over their impulses. Learning to tolerate boredom is another crucial skill. Many people struggle with discipline simply because they seek constant stimulation. Embracing stillness, focusing on single tasks, and resisting the urge to seek entertainment at every idle moment can strengthen mental discipline. Additionally, using tools like website blockers, turning off notifications, and implementing strict work routines can help eliminate distractions and make self-control easier. Ultimately, discipline must become a daily lifestyle rather than a short-term effort. Many people treat discipline as something they use temporarily to achieve a specific goal, such as getting in shape or completing a project, but then revert to old habits once the goal is reached. True discipline is about consistency, building a structured life where productive habits are ingrained and do not require constant effort. The key is to integrate discipline into identity rather than treating it as an external tool. For example, instead of thinking, "I need to force myself to wake up early," a disciplined person thinks, "I am the type of person who wakes up early to maximize my potential." This identity shift makes disciplined actions feel natural rather than forced. Additionally, tracking progress can reinforce discipline by providing visual proof of consistency. Journaling, habit tracking apps, or even simple checklists can help individuals stay accountable and see how their efforts compound over time. Most importantly, discipline should not be viewed as deprivation, but as empowerment. Every disciplined action brings individuals closer to their goals, granting them control over their future. By making discipline a core part of daily life, rather than a temporary effort, individuals can build a foundation for long-term success and self-mastery. Many people mistakenly believe that discipline is restrictive, that it limits freedom by imposing rules, routines, and structure. However, in reality, discipline is the key to true freedom. Without discipline, people become slaves to their impulses, emotions, and external circumstances, constantly reacting to life rather than shaping it. When someone lacks discipline, they are at the mercy of distractions, cravings, and fleeting desires. They procrastinate on important tasks, struggle with unhealthy habits, and feel overwhelmed by a lack of control. True freedom does not come from doing whatever one feels like in the moment. It comes from having the power to make conscious, deliberate choices that lead to long-term success and fulfillment. A disciplined person has the ability to wake up early, exercise regularly, manage finances wisely, and pursue meaningful goals without being derailed by short-term temptations. They are not trapped in cycles of regret and frustration, but are in control of their actions, leading to a life of greater independence and personal freedom. Self-discipline is directly linked to long-term happiness and fulfillment. While indulging in immediate pleasure may feel satisfying in the moment, it often leads to negative consequences such as poor health, financial instability, and lack of progress in personal or professional life. On the other hand, disciplined actions such as maintaining a healthy diet, saving money, learning new skills, and practicing self-control lead to a more stable and rewarding future. Studies in psychology show that people who practice delayed gratification tend to be more successful and content in life. The ability to resist short-term pleasure for long-term gain creates a sense of achievement, self-respect, and confidence. When someone consistently makes disciplined choices, they build momentum, reinforcing their belief in their own capabilities. Over time, this leads to greater self-esteem and a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing that they are actively shaping their lives rather than being controlled by impulses. The most successful and content individuals are not those who chase temporary highs, but those who invest in habits and routines that create lasting joy and purpose. One of the biggest myths about discipline is that it is oppressive, that it removes spontaneity and enjoyment from life. In reality, the opposite is true. Discipline provides the structure necessary to experience life fully. When someone has control over their time, health, and responsibilities, they have more freedom to enjoy meaningful experiences without guilt or stress. For example, a person who practices financial discipline by saving and investing wisely has more choices in life. They can travel, retire early, or pursue passions without financial worry. A disciplined individual who maintains their health and fitness enjoys the freedom of an energetic, capable body rather than being limited by preventable illnesses. Similarly, a person who is disciplined with time management can accomplish their goals while still having space for relaxation, relationships, and hobbies. Without discipline, life becomes chaotic, filled with constant stress and a sense of being behind. Many people live in a cycle of procrastination, rushing to meet deadlines, dealing with financial struggles, and feeling physically unwell, all because they lack the discipline to establish order in their lives. When discipline is embraced, it creates balance and opens up space for true enjoyment, rather than constantly trying to recover from poor choices. The most powerful aspect of discipline is that it allows people to take full control of their time, health, and future. Time is the most valuable resource, and yet many people waste it on distractions, unnecessary entertainment, and procrastination, only to later regret not having made better use of it. Disciplined individuals understand that time is finite, so they prioritize their days intentionally, ensuring that every hour is spent meaningfully. This does not mean working constantly. It means allocating time efficiently so that both productivity and relaxation are maximized. Health, another crucial aspect of life, is often neglected due to a lack of discipline in eating habits, exercise, and sleep. However, those who take control of their health through disciplined daily habits experience a greater quality of life, free from unnecessary suffering caused by poor lifestyle choices. Most importantly, discipline shapes the future. Every disciplined decision made today contributes to a better tomorrow. Whether it is working on a business, learning a new skill, or building strong relationships, discipline ensures that efforts compound over time, leading to success and fulfillment. Those who embrace discipline are not restricted. They are empowered to live life on their own terms, free from the limitations imposed by laziness, bad habits, and lack of self-control. In the end, discipline is not a burden. It is the ultimate form of self-respect and self-liberation. Discipline is the fundamental cornerstone of success in any area of life. Whether you're striving for personal growth, professional achievement, or mastering a new skill, discipline is the invisible force that propels you forward. It turns dreams into actionable steps, ensures consistent progress, and helps navigate through challenges. Success is rarely about bursts of motivation or grand sporadic efforts. It's about the steady day in, day out commitment to doing what needs to be done, regardless of external circumstances or emotional fluctuations. Discipline shapes our time, our choices, and ultimately, our future. It's the difference between being trapped in a cycle of procrastination and actually achieving our goals. The most successful people, from historical leaders to modern innovators, didn't get to where they are by relying on talent alone. They relied on their discipline to push through obstacles, stay focused, and work relentlessly toward their vision. The good news is that discipline is not something you're born with. It's something that can be developed and strengthened with practice. It's like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. By starting small, creating good habits, and staying consistent, anyone can build their own discipline. The key is to start today with one small commitment and build from there. It's easy to be overwhelmed by the thought of trying to overhaul your entire life. But remember that the most effective discipline comes from incremental steps and gradual improvements. Over time, these small changes compound and lead to a significant transformation. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start and stay the course. Through persistent practice, discipline becomes an integral part of who you are, and it's what will enable you to achieve anything you set your mind to. I challenge you to embark on a 30-day discipline challenge to see the transformation firsthand. For the next month, commit to a specific goal that requires daily effort, whether it's waking up earlier, exercising regularly, working on a project, or even practicing mindfulness. The key is consistency. Don't let distractions, excuses, or setbacks derail you. Hold yourself accountable every single day, and at the end of 30 days, you'll be amazed at the results. This challenge will show you that discipline isn't a far-off ideal. It's a practical tool that you can start applying today. As you stick with it, you'll notice how discipline begins to shape not only your actions, but your mindset, your confidence, and your sense of accomplishment. So take this challenge, embrace the discomfort, and experience firsthand the power that discipline holds to transform your life. The journey may be challenging, but the rewards will be immeasurable.